In this video, we're going to learn how to use the jQuery UI to create dialogues. Dialogues can be used for several purposes. They can be used to show a simple alert message when the page loads. Also, they can be used to confirm a certain action that we think is important or even destructive. And we want to confirm that the user would like to proceed before the action is carried out. So let's create our first example. We need a div to contain the message of our dialog. So we're going to create a div after the Microsoft div, and let's give it an ID. We're going to call it my dialog. Okay. Also, we're going to give it a title. For example, this is a dialog. So the title is going to be used to give our dialog box a title at the top of the box. We'll see this in a bit. Next, we need we're going to create a paragraph in there showing the content of our dialog. So, for example, we can say, "Welcome to our page." Okay, so now to create the dialog using the jQuery UI, we'll need a method. So first, let's access the containing div using its ID, which is my dialog, and the method we need to use here is dialog. I'm not going to be using any options or parameters at the moment. Okay, so let's refresh the page, and we can see our dialog there. So that's the title. So this is what we put in the title, and that's the content, that's our paragraph. Okay, we can change the theme so that we can use a different styling. Okay, and let's keep this one for now. Okay, now let's say we don't want the dialog to show when the page loads. We want to create a button, and only when we click on the button this dialog will show up. So let's create a button after the dialog div, and let's call it open dialog, and let's give it an ID, open. Okay, so first of all, we don't want our dialog to show up when the page loads. So we're going to need to set a certain property called auto open. So we need to set that to false. Okay, which means that the dialog will not show up automatically. And then we're going to write another statement where we access the button, and we set. So the button is, we can access it using its ID, and then we're going to use the click method, and we'll define what happens when we click on the button. So we're going to access our dialog div using its ID, my dialog. And we want to open the dialog. So first we need the dialog method, and this time we'll use a parameter there. It's going to be a string, and it's saying open. Okay, so if we refresh the page, we've got the button there, and if you click on the button, we can see our dialog. Okay, let's style the button using the button method as we have seen earlier. Well, let's style all the buttons. So you access all the buttons like this, and we're going to use the button method. So now it looks better. So if you click on the button, you can see the dialog. All right. Okay, now let's move to confirmation dialogues. So we're going to create a confirmation dialog, which will just ask the user to confirm they want to proceed before a certain action is carried out. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a button saying go to previous page, and when the user clicks on the button, we'll just show a confirmation box where the user is given a couple of choices, so they can either cancel or they can just proceed with the action and go to the previous page. So let's go for this. So first of all, we're going to create our dialog div. Okay, so we're going to give it an ID, so it's going to be confirmation, and also we're going to give it a title. So the title is going to say leave the page. Okay, so you're confirming whether the user would like to leave the page or not. Okay, and let's put some content there. So let's put some text there. So you will lose all unsaved work. Are you sure? Okay. We can add an icon just before the text. So let's put the icon inside a span. So you're gonna need a class. So okay, let's go for an alert icon. Okay, let's go for this one. So it's UI icon alert. Okay. So first, we need to use the UI icon class first, and then we need the name of the icon, which is UI icon alert. Let's refresh the page. Just see. We've got our icon there. We've got text. Okay, now we're going to create the dialog the same way we have done for the previous one. So we're going to access the containing div using its ID, which is confirmation, and then we're going to use the dialog method. Okay, so if we do this, it's going to be a simple dialog, so it's not going to be a confirmation dialog. So you can see that we've got our title there and we've got our content. Okay, but we'd like to see the dialog when we click on the second button. So we need to create a button. So the button is going to be, so we're going to give it an ID. So let's say close page, and or let's say go to previous page. It's better. Previous page. And let's write some text there. Go to previous page. Okay. Let's just refresh. Okay, so you can see two buttons there. And now let's write some code to say that when we click on this button, we show the dialog. So first we need to access the button, okay, using its ID. So the ID is go to previous page, and the event is click, and we need to define the function we need to execute. So function. Okay, so this time we need to open the confirmation dialog. So as we did for the first one, so you're just going to be accessing the containing div using its ID, and then use the dialog method with the open parameter. So our div is confirmation, and then All right. Okay, this. Okay. So now we're gonna start using some parameters inside our dialog method. So first one is gonna be the auto open that we need to set to false. Okay. And the next one, we're gonna use the model property that we need to set to true. So we need this for the confirmation dialogues. Okay. And then we're gonna define buttons we're gonna have inside our confirmation dialog. So to do that, we need the buttons option, and we need curly brackets for the buttons. So every button we're gonna add, we're just gonna put text that is gonna go inside the button, followed by a function to execute when we click on the button. Okay, so you're gonna have a couple of buttons. So the first one is gonna be saying go to previous page. Okay, and we will define the function in there. And the second one, we need a comma. Second one is going to be a cancel button. So we just need to use a cancel just like this. And also we need to define the function to execute. Okay, let's leave this empty for now. And let's make sure that it is working so far. So if you click on the button, so we can see our confirmation box, and we can see our alert icon. So we can do some styling for that. So let's style our span using some inline CSS. So style equals, so let's just make it float left. That's better. Okay. So now we're gonna define what happens when we click on each of these buttons. So the first one is go to previous page. So the statements we need to put inside the function is gonna be window, history, and the method is back. Okay. And if we cancel, all we do, we need to close the dialog. So we need to access this. Okay, and we're gonna use again the dialog method, and this time the parameter is not open, it's close, to close the dialog. Okay, so let's try that. So if we refresh the page, so now if we click on the button, so if we cancel, it's closed. But if we click again, and if we want to go to the previous page, so we click there, it takes us to the previous page. Okay. Okay, so that's how dialogues work in the jQuery UI. In the next video, we will look at menus.